show you around my little bench area, my workbench area. This is primarily a dry zone, just where I do a lot of filing, some hammering, and shaping of rings and bracelets. So in here I have some hammers, some are on the other desk over there, but I like to try to keep them somewhat organized, which on this bench it's not always acceptable. So I have some tools here for my drill. I have a lot of files and my steel block and my sandbag for shaping items. Here's some pliers over on this side. Let's see here. This is where I keep most of my finished products. Let's see. Some rings that I finished, along with the majority of my stones that I'll eventually set into bezels. So I have some jerseys over here. I have some handmade glass stones that I've made, some different earth stones, druzies, some aquamarines, and then some silver and copperware that I finished with some elevation bands, different bracelets, some charm bangles, and some swim, bike, and run bangles as well. Over here I have where I do all of my sawing and all of my soldering. So over here I have my torch, and it's connected to acetylene and oxygen. Oxygen and acetylene, those are my gases. I have an igniter, a third arm just to help with soldering, my different solders, hard, medium, easy, and my flux, which dries out really quickly, so I like to keep a little bit separate. I have some different saw blades in here, my quench pot. I work small scale, so I try to keep everything pretty small, so that's why everything is in smaller containers. But yeah, this is my bench. Welcome. These are two rings that I'm working on right now. It's the Lion King and the cub silhouette. So this is what it looks like with silver and copper after it's fired. This is a tiara, Aurora's crown, on a silver ring. So all I have to do now is shape it into a circular pattern, and then I'll solder it together to make it a ring. I'd like to show you the process of some elevation bands that I'm working on. This is the flat process, how I start. So it starts as two sheets of metal, which originally look like this. So not much to look at. So what I'll do is I'll hand shape it and cut it. So I'll usually draw on it with a Sharpie or a marker, and I'll be able to get a backdrop here, saw in between, and then I'll solder the two pieces together. When the two pieces are soldered together, then I'll start to form it into an actual band. So this is in the process of it now. And then what I'll do is, after it's formed into a band, then I file the two ends, and at the two ends then I eventually, as long as there's no light shining through and it's even, then I can solder it to where it's like this, a solid band. I still have some cleanup to do, but you get the general idea. Today I'm going to solder a sparrow on a jump ring and make a necklace. So what I do is I'm going to flux the entire circle, which is sterling, which I just soldered, and I'm going to flux the back of a sparrow, which I also just cleaned. So I'm going to flux the back so the solder sticks, and I cut some solder pieces out right here. If I can just grab them. Let's see here. I'm gonna place them around where I think that the sparrow will fit, which is right at the bottom. And the solder pieces, they're gonna jump around a little bit, but we're gonna try to keep them under control. Okay. So now we're gonna place the sparrow on top of the ring. Let's see here. Okay. So the solder pieces are underneath the sparrow and on top of the ring, and now I'm going to fire it, and hopefully it works. Okay, fire and acetylene. And we want to see the blue cone here. Let's see, there's a soldering pick, the blue cone, and in the center right here is where the hottest point of the flame is. So we're going to heat up the outside of the ring. So we always want to heat from the back end first. And the solder pieces, they might jump around just a little bit, but as it starts to get hotter, you'll see the color change of the metal. And you'll see the flux start to burn away, just the water of the flux. The flux really just works as a binder, like a glue. And you can see that it's starting to get a little shiny. We want to keep the flame moving. And we're almost there. And we're there. Okay, we're going to turn off our flame, and we're going to put it in the quench. There you go.